Did you know one of Colorado's most fascinating museums sits just steps away from some of the most infamous prison walls in the American West? Located in Cañon City, the Museum of Colorado Prisons offers a rare and gripping look at over 150 years of incarceration history in the state. The museum is housed in the former women's prison, built in 1925, and stands near the still operating Colorado Territorial Correctional Facility, making the setting as authentic as the stories it tells. You can literally hear the current prisoners in the prison yard while you are touring the old gas chamber and outside grounds. The women's prison operated until 1968, housing incarcerated women in a building constructed with convict labor. It is now a site listed on the National Register of Historic Places. In the early 1980s, a passionate group of Fremont County residents envisioned transforming this historic cell house into a museum to share the full story of incarceration in the state. With approval from the Colorado legislature and a 99-year lease from Cañon City, local volunteers formed a board in 1986, raised funds, and began restoring the prison building and collecting artifacts. 5 years later, on June 18, 1988, the Museum of Colorado Prisons officially opened its doors to the public. Inside, on the upper floor, visitors explore 30 original prison cells, each one with a unique theme and artifacts from historic prison riots to daring escapes to the rules of corrections and local culture and the push for reform. The lower level has the original kitchen, isolation cells, the federal prison display, laundry room, and a ton of artifacts, including execution items. There's inmate artwork, tons of confiscated weapons, historic uniforms, and detailed exhibits that explain how prisons operated from the late 1800s through modern times. The museum also highlights notorious inmates, daring escape attempts, executions, and the daily realities faced by both prisoners and guards. One of the most powerful aspects is how it traces the evolution of prison reform, discipline, and rehabilitation in Colorado. What makes this museum especially compelling is its honesty. It doesn't glamorize crime, but it doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of incarceration either. From solitary confinement to chain gangs, every exhibit tells a story of justice, punishment, and humanity behind bars. There's an area dedicated to Warden Roy, the Colorado-born, long-tenured, and often controversial man who followed in his father's footsteps as warden. He was warden from 1932 to 1952. During this time, a notorious escape of 12 inmates happened in late 1947. Warden Best organized the large manhunt that led to the Hollywood film Cañon City. In another Aunt Shazy video, we went into depth about the history of lethal injection, stories of executed prisoners, and the end of the death penalty in Colorado. We'll put up a link at the end of this video to that video. But while you are at the museum, you can see several items relating to executions in Colorado, starting with the first public hanging in 1859, to the state upgrading to gas chambers in 1934, and to Colorado lawmakers officially abolishing capital punishment in 2020. The front yard has a full-size actual gas chamber that you can tour. I suggest doing the guided tour to hear the stories of inmates like Louis Jose Mung, convicted of the mass murder of his family, Nathan Dunlap, who killed 4 people at a Chuck E. Cheese, and Sir Mario Owens and Robert Ray, who were convicted of killing a murder trial witness, and more. If you're interested in true crime, history, or the hidden stories of the American prison system, the Museum of Colorado Prisons delivers an unforgettable experience that stays with you long after you leave the cell block. And if you have time, just a short drive up the street is the historic Greenwood Cemetery, where many prisoners are buried in unmarked graves, with a simple CSP inmate sign. Among those buried there are Mong, that I mentioned earlier, and Joe Riddy, a tragic tale of a mentally disabled man who was wrongly convicted of murder and executed in 1939. In 2011, he was posthumously pardoned by the governor of Colorado.